We start with a Rob Manfred quote. First and foremost, these are Nike jerseys. Much like, quote, the World Series trophy is just a piece of metal, and just about anything he says regarding the A's, Rob Manfred has a punch list of ridiculous and maddening phrases that will survive far longer than his tenure as Major League Baseball commissioner. Like, read my lips, no new taxes, or I am not a crook. We will one day remember Manfred for moments like this. Quote, first and most importantly, these are Nike jerseys. Just perfect. Before we go any further, remember to subscribe to this channel. Click on this button below me. That way you'll be the first to know when there's a new video up or when we go live on this channel. Subscribe to Watch DA. Appreciate it. Be one with the channel. So right now, baseball finds itself in the middle of yet another counterattack from the public. Why? This time, the shoddiness of their new jerseys. In baseball's infinite wisdom, they partnered with Fanatics and Nike to design and produce the league's new jerseys. They debuted them now in spring training. And the failed intelligence here is that clearly no one in baseball, certainly not Rob Manfred himself, was in charge of quality control. Brilliant. When Manfred leads with, first and most important, these are Nike jerseys, it tells you everything you need to know. If you speak Manfredese, you know what I'm talking about, and you're nodding your head in agreement right now. If not, no problem. I'm here to decode it for you. What he means is, hey, just a reminder, these are Nike jerseys. A very Manfred way to deflect blame while also insisting, we did the right thing. They designed them, and you like Nike, right? You think Nike's cool, right? We're friends with the cool kids. Don't you think we're cool too? Always defiant, and now passing the buck to a company that is known for its innovation and disruption to a once stale marketplace. Heck, Manfred should have just held a private screening of Air. These guys are so cool. If Nike deemed these awesome, well then they must be awesome. This is the equivalent of the bald, overweight, middle-aged dad walking into PacSun and walking out with skin-tight joggers, a surf bum, oversized hat, and Kylie Jenner sunglasses. Then saying, hey, the teenage girl who helped me said I look fly. No cap. Manfred doesn't know cool. And fine, maybe he doesn't need to. But the protection of your brand, pretty important. And clearly he handed that over to Nike Fanatics. And they did their number to make it look cheap and knockoff. And no one in baseball stepped in because they were too afraid of looking uncool. This happens more than you think in professional sports. You don't need to look very far to find plenty of examples where Nike's impeccable vision turned out to be disgusting. And none of the adults could admit it because we're not cool. All of the old people in sports just nod because they don't know what cool is anyway. Count Chocula collars, anyone? Obviously stupid. The Browns' block letters on pants and Halloween's screaming orange? Everyone hated them. The Buccaneers' alarm clock numbers? Obviously lame. All of them put on display proudly by Nike and quickly panned by the public so that those teams had to pivot as soon as the contract was up. Never happened. I get it. Design is always up to one's taste. And the new jerseys are apparently performance-based. They're Nike Vapor nonsense something. So they're lightweight and I suppose stretchier. Fine. We don't want the modern equivalent of Cap Anson's woolen sweater on a July day in St. Louis. We get it. But the quality of the stitching and the size of the nameplates are very obviously pathetic looking to anyone. Look, you don't have to be Roberto Cavalli to look at these jerseys and notice that they look kind of cheap. Like, I don't know, maybe a replica you'd get at Fanatics. Now, to be fair, I've purchased plenty of items from Fanatics, hats and hoodies. But what baseball would want to avoid, I would think, is the league looking like they bought their jerseys off a bootleg online store in China. Cardinals president Bill DeWitt adored his club's tradition, so he brought back the chain stitching of the players' names on the back, just like Stam Usual and the Gas House Gang had. It was a detail for the players. They loved them. Why? Because, quote, it felt special, like this was the big leagues. Well, guess what? Nike Fanatics did away with that. No stitching on the nameplates. Now we're just heat pressing those things on like it was Tony's auto body on your 8-year-old rec soccer team. Let's go out to Chicago where Dansby Swanson will weigh in. Star in Major League Baseball. Quote, Cubby blue is its own blue, right? And this blue on the uniform is a little bit different than Cubby blue. So how can we just recapture that? End of quote. Oh, cool. So there's 30 baseball teams, and the Cubs are pretty clearly one of the most important and valuable and popular, and Nike Fanatics couldn't even be bothered to match the right color. Let's see how the Diamondbacks do. Again, was anyone in baseball helping quality control? Anyone? Bueller? Walker? And the worst part about all of this is the size of the nameplate on the backs of the jerseys. I mean, look at this train wreck. When you go out to a game, you know the jerseys that catch your eye, right? When you're in the stadium, in the ballpark, it's not the authentics, it's the knockoffs. Because the numbers aren't quite the right font, and that patch is on the wrong sleeve or from the wrong year, and that player wasn't on that team, and that isn't the true color. Oh, and the nameplate is really small or doesn't have the normal shadowing or blocking. And congrats, baseball. You've allowed your entire league to look like you can grab those jerseys for $40 on an Instagram shop. Well, I mean, don't take it just from me. Let's hear from the players. Angels outfielder Taylor Ward, quote, it looks like a replica. It feels kind of like paper. From the looks of it, it doesn't look like a $400 jersey. End of quote. Nice. One Cardinals player told The Athletic, quote, they look cheap. Perfect. Another player said, I think the last names look really bad, honestly. I saw someone on Twitter that said it looks like a Walmart jersey. Yes. Look, this could all be avoided if baseball just took the time to oversee the process. Someone in charge of the brand, the 150-year history, could have easily identified in the process these types of discrepancies. But the issue is baseball's out to lunch on a lot of things, especially under Manfred, and especially the aesthetics of the game. They know they're not cool. They've come to understand kids stop thinking that they're cool. And now they're begging Nike and Fanatics, kids like you guys, right? Help us. And they left it in the hands of corporations who are looking for cheaper ways to make a product to maximize their profits. And these bad boys pop out of the toaster at spring training, and all Rob Manfred can say is, let's just remember that they're Nike. Remember to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think about this Nike Fanatics jersey fiasco. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel by clicking on this button right here. I appreciate it. That means you'll get notifications when there's a brand new episode up. Until then, thanks so much for subscribing, everybody. I'm DA, Damon Amendolara. We'll see you next time.